Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about the feminine cycle and its four different phases and how it impacts your health, your work, your relationships, your whole life basically. So if you're a man, you can also watch this video, to know more about the woman in your life. What I wanted to do this video for, it's because as women, we are not designed to operate the same way every day. So it's really important to actually align to your cycle so that you get, better health, more vitality, more energy, more focus, more creativity. And then when to plan some meetings, when to take action, when to rest, when to take a specific holiday, or to brainstorm, all of that. It's really essential to actually align to your feminine cycle, because otherwise you're going to force consistency in your life and you're not going to understand why, 1 week everything is great, you're on top of the world, you're creative, you just want to get out there and take actions and do things. And the week after, a week later, you like everything seems harder and blocking and slow and so it's all a matter of following your natural rhythm. The lack of consistency in your life is not a lack of discipline, it's a lack of alignment to your feminine cycle. So stay with me until the end. I'm going to tell you more details around the four different phases of your cycle. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to have more videos around that subject, or around the transformation subject, around alignment. So it's all about being aligned to your soul, to who you are, but also to your physical body, listening to your physical body and to your own rhythm. Also, you can share this video if you feel someone really needs to hear this message. Being closer to her femininity, for instance. It's also really important for fertility issues. As you might know, I have helped many couples with fertility issues, and there are many different reasons, for having trouble conceiving a child. But one of the main reasons is actually not following your own natural rhythm. And I've seen many women working in the corporate world with a really masculine energy and really forcing their own rhythms all the time. And then when it's time to conceive, it's like the body's not following, there's something blocking around hormonal balance. And there's an imbalance around hormones or the cycle. So that's why I wanted to make this video today, because I've been following a lot of women in my practice, my coaching, therapy practice. And so I can see that a lot, that's often that lack of focus and energy and, health issues as well are often due to trying to function as machines, on a linear way, instead of following your natural rhythm. Okay, so let's have a look now at the different phases of your cycle. So first, we have the menstrual phase, which is usually from day 1 to day 6, around that. and it's your inner winter. As you know, the 4 different phases can be compared to the 4 different seasons. And so the menstrual phase is your inner winter. So it's really an invitation for you to rest, to slow down, um, to listen to your inner world. So for more intuition, clarity, to get some insights on things. Yeah, it's really a time to to listen to your body and to take a break, really, to take a break from the world and be in your own little bubble. So I know in our modern times, in our today's society, hasn't always been easy to follow that flow. And so that there can be a lot of external, pressure. And it's actually, of course, I'm saying of course, because a lot of other things as well are not taught at school, because we want to make sure, women and men are equal in the educational system, equal at work, in all areas of life. We have kind of tried to eliminate that matter, that big biology difference between men and women. And so what is the consequence of that is that I can see a lot of around me and in my work, I can see a lot of female teenagers having a lot of issues, anxiety, panic attacks at school because they have to be like boys basically, and spend a lot of time in class, not being able to move or do what they like, during that menstruation time, for instance. And it's the same in a lot of workplaces as well. So yeah, then we have, issues regarding the feminine cycle. I can see a lot of women with headaches and migraines and stomach pains. All those pains are there because the body wants to slow down, wants to rest, and it's not allowed, and you're forcing it, basically, not listening to your body. And then there are a lot of fertility issues, later on, because of not honoring the natural rhythm of the feminine body. So that's just some kind of explanations, around why it's so important to do that as much as you can, even if there are some limitations and restrictions. So of course, the best is to be able for you to work freely, from home and have your own timetable, that's for sure. That's why it's becoming more and more attractive for women to be working for themselves, as entrepreneurs, because to have that flexibility of time and energy and what to do and when to do it. Okay, so that's basically that's what I wanted to say around that menstrual phase of rest. Okay, then the second phase is the follicular phase. So that's often between day 7 and around day 13. Once again, the more you're going to listen to your body and be balanced, the more you will have a 28-day cycle, the same days as the moon cycle. That's why we call it a moon cycle. And yeah, the more your cycles will be regular as well. So the follicular phase is your inner spring. So your energy starts rising with the estrogens, hormones as well, increasing in your body. And so you are feeling more creative. You want to get out in the world, and your energy is more, outwards. That's a good phase to connect with people. Let's look at my notes. Yeah, to connect with people, to do, to be more creative, more curious about stuff, more, to get out there, to start new projects, to implement new ideas. That's when you get out in the world. You start new things. You have the energy for it, the vitality, the mood as well. You're in the right mood. Yeah, so that's the follicular phase. Then phase number 3 is the ovulatory phase. So it's usually between day 14 and day 20. And so during that ovulation time, that's when basically it's the best time to do everything that requires a lot of energy, a lot of vitality, getting out of your comfort zone, public speaking, meetings, to be out there and to be, totally out in the world. That's when you're really magnetic, charismatic, your aura is getting bigger. And that's when you have the right vitality and energy to do that. Okay. So that's the time of the month where you want to plan as many meetings as you can, to do some networking, yeah, public speaking, all of that, to get out of the comfort zone. Okay. And then the last phase, the fourth phase, is the luteal phase. So that's your inner autumn, inner fall. It's called fall. You're falling down. No, I'm joking. So that's when the estrogens are decreasing and the progesterone is increasing instead. And so you are more in the nesting phase, progesterone wants you to nest. So your energy is more inward. And that's when you want to look at things in more details, review stuff. And you're going to be more in your inner world, listening to some ideas that come from inside of you. If you want to do some journaling, writing, reviewing stuff. What else did I? Yeah, you finishing tasks basically, because it's the end of your cycle. So that's when you want to get rid of things, or it's the time to set boundaries as well with other people, to let go of stuff, to clean your home, all of that, because it's really the end of a cycle time. So that's how you will feel inside of you. That's what you will feel like doing, So those are the 4 different phases. And the more you follow those 4 different phases as women, you get in sync with those phases, in your life, in your work, in your family life, in, as well, in everything, regarding your hobbies as well. You don't want to do some really harsh exercises, while you're in the luteal phase or your menstrual phase. Yeah, you really want to try to align yourself as much as you can to the different phases of your cycle. And then what will happen is that you will have more hormonal balance in your life. It will improve your relationships because you will feel better. And so, people around you are going to notice that. You're going to be in a better mood and in the right mood with other people, to connect with them. And the same at work as well. You're going to be more efficient at work, doing the right thing at the right time. And yeah, so that your overall health, your energy, your vitality is going to improve a lot if you really follow those 4 different phases, okay? Because as women in today's society, we, well, at least in the Western culture, we have been taught to function a lot like men, you know, in a linear way, to be really consistent, do the same thing every day, you know, as much as we can, at school, at work, in our family life as well, in relationships, you know, just being the same as much as we can and trying to force our way through instead of following that moon rhythm, you know, like the tides of the sea as well that change according to the moon. It's the same thing for us women. It's really important to follow that natural rhythm, because then the ripple effects are so big in your life, you know, health-wise. It's not just a matter of hormonal balance, it's going to affect the whole balance of your body, you know, your immune system, your digestive system, everything has, you know, it has an impact on all your life, you know, your moods and your cortisol level, because of course your stress levels are going to increase if you're trying to do too much, take too many actions, uncomfortable action, and be out there during your luteal phase and during your menstrual phase. Of course, you're going to have, you know, some headaches and some pains, and so, you know, there's been a lot of you know, brainwashing around women and younger girls as well, to try and numb your emotions, numb what you feel. And, you know, if you have a headache, just take that medication and we'll get better, you know, and just go with, carry on with the linear timetable, you know what I mean, instead of following your own rhythm and listening to your body. So this video is really an authorization for you to listen to your own rhythm and to align yourself to those different phases. And so you are allowed to be inconsistent, or you're allowed to be consistent according to those different phases. You know what I mean? So you can be consistent, but adjusting to those different phases, you know, every month being consistent, but not in a linear way, like, you know, every day the same, functioning the same way in every month. You know, it's really important that you allow yourself to follow your own rhythm. So I hope this video resonates with you. Please comment below if it does. You can comment as well in which phase you are at the moment, and if you're doing the right things according to those different phases. I haven't been in too many details in every phase, you know, but I'm sure you get the message of what is advised to do or not, you know. And then of course you have your own intuition, your own insights. You can observe yourself, you know. Just if it resonates with you and you haven't really paid attention to that before, maybe just try for a month and, you know, journal around your cycle, follow your cycle through with the different phases and different days of your month, and journal it for, you know, maybe several months in a row, and see how different you feel, how your cycles maybe are more balanced, you know, after following that through. Yeah, just observe yourself, how your health can, you know, improve, your relationships, your work as well, your efficiency at work, your objectives, if you can meet your objectives and get better results as well, if you're doing, you know, if you allow yourself to follow those different phases of your cycle. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if it resonates. And I will talk to you later very shortly in a different video. Bye bye for now.